Do you believe the cosmos has always been silent? Think again. Now an awakened god, an ancestral call echoes through the corners of the universe. On the human base on Mars, an ancient being reveals itself. As the interdimensional threat draws near, humanity braces for action. Will an ancient god, a cosmic entity now awakened, fight alongside humanity? Prepare yourself, for what is coming is not a battle. It is a new cycle of destruction and rebirth. Anubis, an ancient alien, invaded our base on Mars. His mission was simple, to stop us from awakening what should have remained forgotten. But it was too late. Humanity had been bold. We did the unthinkable. We awakened Horus, long buried beneath the sands of the Red Planet. And now, in a moment of despair, he did the impossible. He contacted his sister, Ra, a goddess long forgotten through the ages, and she answered. What follows are entries from my journal, which I am unsure how long I will be able to keep updated. My name is Dr. Abyss, and everything you read or hear here must remain here. Answering her brother's call, Horus, Ra bent space and time, appearing within fractions of a second. The Martian sky began to transform as if the very fabric of the cosmos were being torn apart. Ra's presence, with her golden and white light, seemed to dominate the environment. Even with all the knowledge I had accumulated, I felt my smallness before the grandeur of that moment. Horus appeared calm, but something in his posture hinted at a veiled apprehension. He knew what would come next, would change the course of the universe. Ra's ship descended over the horizon with an indescribable magnificence. Its form was simultaneously fluid and solid, a strange fusion of biology and technology that defied any earthly logic. It seemed alive, as if it were a colossal cosmic creature that had learned to mold itself with the matter of the stars. The front of the ship bore a colossal face, an ancient Egyptian entity with penetrating eyes and an expression that conveyed both wisdom and profound fatigue. The lines of the face were deeply etched into the ship, as if its origin were both flesh and metal. From these lines emerged shapes that distorted constantly, as though the very structure were in perpetual transformation. The ship emanated tentacles, long, twisted, and hypnotically fluid, extending into the air as if searching for something lost or capturing the energy of the planet itself. Faces appeared and vanished among the ship's pulsating waves, like lost souls wandering the depths of space, drawn into the complex machinery, blending flesh and metal. As the ship drew nearer, I realized it was not alone. It brought servants, beings who, though humanoid in structure, were far taller, stronger, and carried an unmistakable aura of authority. Their figures were cloaked in sleek metallic suits, a star-forged alloy, flexible yet resistant beyond comprehension. The silvery sheen of their armor reflected Ra's light, distorting it as if concealing something beneath the surface. Unlike Horus and Ra, who communicated telepathically in a fluid and direct manner, these servants lacked such abilities. Their communication seemed limited to body language and a silent expression, their attentive gazes unsettling. They moved with mechanical precision, driven by an immutable purpose. Ra, with her eternal and profound gaze, appeared momentarily unaware of our presence, as though her mind lingered in another plane of existence. Her servants, however, remained vigilant, awaiting their next order. The overwhelming sense that we were witnessing something immense and incomprehensible filled me with awe. As all this unfolded, the black ether spread further across the universe, and Anubis's shadow loomed over the future. I spoke, the weight of the moment pressing my voice. Ra, what happened to your faith in balance? Where is the justice you once embodied before gods and mortals? My words echoed, carrying not only scientific logic but a deep reverence for traditions I knew well. In ancient Egypt, you were the force that upheld Ma'at, the universal balance. The eternal cycle of life and death, order and chaos, all depended on your presence. You were the light that restored order in the darkest times. Even though the black ether has altered everything, even though time has corrupted our perception of justice, there is nothing that a force like you cannot reclaim. Anubis must be defeated, or creation itself will be lost. Ra observed me silently, and for a moment I felt as though her memories were unraveling, revealing secrets of past eras. Her image shifted from a distant goddess to a cosmic force that had witnessed the birth and death of stars. Horus stood by, watchful yet uncertain. He understood that the goddess before us was no longer the same. Ra sighed, a sigh that carried the weight of millennia. What you fail to understand, Dr. Abyss, is that the mot that once existed no longer applies. The universe as we knew it has lost its meaning. What Anubis corrupted was not just the order I represented, but the foundation of existence itself. The black aether is not mere distortion, it is the death of creation, the end of all that is known. I am part of this cycle, but perhaps not enough to restore it. I step forward, trying to contain my growing anxiety. No, Ra. The true mot is not lost. What Anubis has brought is not death, but a false death, a lie. Balance is in your hands, as it always has been. The light, truth, and justice you represent can still prevail. Horus gazed at Ra with a grim expression. We cannot let the cycle of chaos continue. We cannot allow Anubis to define the universe. Ra's golden eyes glowed with almost painful intensity. I was justice, the light that lit the path. But now, perhaps it is time for darkness. Perhaps this is the end of the cycle. Ra, if you retreat now, balance will not be restored, I urged. The black ether is not true darkness. If you refuse to fight, total destruction will follow, and the universe will lose its light forever. Ra studied Horus, then me, as if our words were pieces of a puzzle she had long tried to solve. The tension in the air was palpable. You speak with the fervor of one who still believes in what lies ahead, she said softly. Perhaps, Dr. Abyss, you are right. To save what remains, I must rekindle the flame that once guided the gods. I will fight, not for you, but for creation, for the mot that still pulses within me. And with that, her light shone brighter than a star about to be reborn. What was about to unfold would be the oldest and most decisive battle in the history of the universe. The confrontation with Anubis was about to begin, and now we mortals and immortals would stand side by side against the shadow threatening to destroy everything. The future then seemed more uncertain than ever. Ra's ship loomed on the horizon, its colossal form distorting Mars' reddish sky. The energy emanating from it induced a sense of megalophobia, as if space itself was being compressed and expanded simultaneously. Its presence was undeniable. Its power seemed to warp the surrounding space, creating an oppressive sensation that invaded the air in our bodies. The human bases on Mars were already destroyed, and the infrastructure we had built was now mere rubble. Staying there was no longer an option. Our departure was inevitable. In front of the ship, Ra's servants awaited, imposing figures who were more than just soldiers. They were extensions of Ra's will, beings forged from a fusion of biology and technology. But something more urgent was unfolding before us. Horus, his gaze fixed on the horizon, didn't seem surprised. He already knew what to do next. We must restore my servants, Horus said, his voice firm yet tinged with apprehension. With mechanical engineering, quantum science, and genetic manipulation, I will have to recreate my army. And for that, I will need your help, Ra. The goddess remained silent for a moment, but her energy radiated, an immense and unyielding presence. What I propose will not be easy, but if necessary, we will do whatever it takes to restore balance. Our next step, Horus continued, will be to travel to a forgotten planet beyond the borders of known systems. There, we will collect the materials needed to begin building my army and the weapons we will use to fight Anubis. As the conversation unfolded, I observed every movement and word with growing tension. The idea of rebuilding an army, a force capable of challenging cosmic entities, was both thrilling and terrifying. The weight of responsibility was on them, and I, merely a spectator among titans, felt increasingly small in the face of the grandeur of what was to come. Then, in the corner of the room, I noticed something unusual. A small technobiological dog, a hybrid creature blending organic biology with advanced technology, was watching attentively. It moved stealthily, avoiding detection, but its implanted sensors and cameras recorded every word, every gesture. Before I could act, a bright light emanated from Ra's figure. A burst of energy disintegrated the dog with a precision unmatched even by the most advanced technology. However, before being destroyed, the small being did something that surprised me. It programmed a message, an echo of its last action, before being consumed by the light. "He already knows we have gathered," said Ra, her voice now laden with the seriousness of someone who understood what was coming. "Anubis has been alerted. He will attack or seek reinforcements." Horus seemed contemplative, the weight of Ra's words hanging in the air. We cannot wait. And so the future unfolded before us, a colossal battle between ancient gods and the shadow army that Anubis was preparing. What would happen next? The answer was already in motion, and we all knew there was no turning back. As I watched Mars' sky, now illuminated by Ra's arrival and the weight of the decision ahead, a cold sensation ran down my spine. Something was not right. The burst of light that destroyed the technobiological dog was not merely a security measure. It was a message, a warning. I knew that no matter how the gods' actions shaped the destiny of the universe, something else, something hidden in the shadows, was waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. What was Anubis truly planning, and what could we mortals do against such an incomprehensible power? I didn't know, but one thing was certain: the battle was only just beginning, and in the darkness that followed, something even more terrible lay in wait.